guys, it's Jada and I'm coming to you today with a makeup tutorial. As you can see, because I'm barefaced except for eyebrows, it's going to be an eye look. We'll see if we can fit in, like, I'll do like a speed through on face stuff. I'm not wearing foundation lately just because my skin's been weird, as you can see from my eyelashes. So we're just going to get right into it. My face is primed, ready to go. For eye primer, I don't use eye primer, so I'm going to prime it using concealer, the Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer in the shade Light Clair. I'm just going to put this on my eyelid. Now, the red patches on my eyes aren't so bad that I feel the need to color correct, but just in case, I do have a color correcting palette here where I can tap some on and then put some extra concealer on top. They are a bit dry and crusty. As you can see, I'm being careful around my eyebrows. I will carve them out in just a second and show you how to do that if you're interested. I'm never sure if I'm in frame or not. I'm going to move my mirror over so I'm, you know, doing better. And I'm just patting in with my finger because I don't want to wet an entire beauty blender, entire beauty sponge just to do my eyes. So now I'm just going to take the concealer wand and any concealer brush and just take a little bit off of it and use that to get right underneath my eyebrows. As you can see, I'm leaving a gap because I want to use as little product as possible when I go up right to my brows. I'm just using this very carefully. As you can see, I'm pulling down kind of away from my brow because, like I said, you don't want to go in with a ton of product if you don't need to. And then I'm just going to use this brush to pull the excess down away from my eyebrows. And then use any finger, I'm using my middle finger now, to just pat that in. And you can see the difference between my brows, between this eye and this eye. So I actually do have some redness underneath this eye, so I am going to just tap a tiny bit of concealer underneath. Tiny bit, my booty. That is quite a bit. But I'm just going to tap it in. Again, I'm looking up high and tapping very lightly using my ring finger. Ugh, I took my fake nails off this week and my real nails are all janky now. My eyes are a bit swollen from this rash, this skin stuff going on. I have sensitive skin and I was using a sensitive skin moisturizer, which I will talk about in my skincare video, and it did not like me. Okay, so now I'm going to set my lids and under eyes with the RCMA No Color Powder. Now, I'm just going to use the brush with very little powder on it. Use that to brush away any excess. And we're ready to go. So, I'm going to be using 3 palettes today. You do not need to have all of these. You do not need to have any of these. Just any colors that you have will work. I'm going to go with the Saharan by Juvias Place. And I'm going to dip into the shade Catsina, which is this khaki shade down here. And I'm going to use a Wet n Wild crease brush. Any crease brush will work. And I'm just going to very lightly, not using too much pressure. Actually, I'm going to pick up a lot more product. We're going to go in with medium pressure, just to lay the color down in the outer crease. And then pull it in using very light pressure, just so we get a little bit of the color, but not all the way in. And I am going to be using a different eyeliner technique today. It's, I can't think of her name right now. I'll remember. Linda Hallberg. She does a winged eyeliner for hooded eyes. As you can see, my eyes are hooded. So I'm going to be using that technique today. And then I'm just going to repeat that process on this eye. And so now I'm going to take a different palette. I know, like I said, any color that works. This is the Studio Makeup On The Go Cool Down palette, and I am going to go in with this darker shade, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this middle kind of taupe shade. So if you have a taupe or a darker neutral, go for it. So I'm just going to take this on a Royal and Langnickel crease brush. I'm going to dip into this shade here. It's powder. I'm going to tap off the excess and then go into this shade. And I'm just going to take it on the very tip. I'm tapping off all that excess because I don't want too much of this color. I go into my outer crease, keep it in this outer area. And kind of blend it, and I'm allowing it to go on my lid a little bit. I don't really care. I'm going to dip back and forth between the two shades. The reason I don't go in with one and then the other is I find that then I'm like, oh, I have too much of this color and not enough of that color, so I just dip back and forth between them. Plus I like mixing and matching my own colors. I know this is looking a little weird right now. We have like a warm tone in the eye and then like a dark neutral, and it doesn't look like an eye look quite yet, but it will. We're going to play with some color in a minute here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take that Wet n Wild crease brush again, and I'm going to dip into the, so I have these two palettes. Ugh, this is so difficult to show. I'm going to dip into Catsina, which is this shade, and I'm going to dip into the middle taupe shade that we just used on this palette to create kind of a warmy neutral. And I'm going to blend this edge out. Sorry if I ever go out of frame. So now you see I have a harsh line there, but we will clean that up in just a second. So now what I'm going to do is take my brush, and I have a clean washcloth over here that I'm just wiping off the excess so that there's nothing on my brush really. And I'm going to dip into this palette. There is a matte, like creamy pinky shade. I'm just going to use that. Any matte shade close to your skin tone will work. Just to blend, very, very, very light pressure. Blend this upper edge out so we don't have that like harsh transition line. Because I don't know about you, I don't like harsh lines anywhere in my look unless it's a cut crease. I like a cut crease. We're not going to do that today, don't worry. I suck at cut creases, but I enjoy them. So I'm thinking that looks pretty blended, but I'm not going to like worry too much about perfection today. And we'll worry about the lower lash line once we have the full uppers done. Now, there's a couple things I think I want to do before doing the eyeliner trick. Nope, we're going to do the eyeliner trick. I did not get my eyeliner out. So I am actually going to use the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. And what we're going to do is follow our lower lash line up. So that's what we're going to do, is just trace a line. I hope you can see. I'm going to get my mirror out. We're going to trace a line following the curve of our lower lash line. Do you see that? And then I'm going to just relax my eye and make another line following my crease. And then I'm just going to connect the two. So now you have this really wide, awkward line on your eye. We're going to fix that right now. So we're going to fill it in kind of carefully because I just made a dot there. We'll clean that up. This line is a bit curved. Just going to fix that really quick. And I'm going to go onto the lid a little bit with this color. Just color the liner. Hope you can hear me. And then really make sure the entire liner area is filled in. So we look a little crazy right now. I know. We're going to fix that right now. So I'm going to take this e.l.f. contour brush and I'm going to dip into Chad from the, what is this called? The Saharan palette. I'm going to take quite a bit of that, and then I'm going to tap it into the liner. This top edge is ratchet. I'll fix that in a minute. And then I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild crease brush and just kind of blend. And then I'm going to go back and forth between patting this. And now I'm going to go back into the liner and I'm going to clean up that top edge because I just noticed it's wonky. You know what? For my first time trying this technique, I think I did pretty good. I mean, this is not my technique. Like I said, Linda Halberg came up with it. It is her technique for hooded eyes. She is a really talented makeup artist. Definitely check her out here on YouTube. If you go on Pinterest, any like really creative makeup look you see, you're like, wow, it's the same girl. Who is she? It's Linda. So now I kind of have a harsh line with the black, but we're going to fix that. So I'm going to go into Kia from this palette, which is this shade right here, this duochrome. If you have any blue to like lighter blue or black to blue duochrome, it'll work. So let's get to Kia. I'm going to pat it kind of on that black, but also on the corner of my lid. I kind of pull it up. So patting and pulling, and we're going to use this to blend the liner also. And don't worry, we're going to deal with the crease too, again. I was doing some color work for this look, and I got really excited to film. Okay, since that tiny spot, do you see that tiny spot right there that doesn't want color? I'm going to mix Kia and Chad and just place it there. Okay. Now I'm going to take, oh, I forgot to tell you. This is a, what is this called? The Royal & Langnickel Omnia Balm 40 shader. Any flat shader brush, a rather large one. But I'm going to take, from the same Royal & Langnickel collection, a smaller flat shader brush. I'm going to go into Chad, which is the black shade. And I'm just going to use that to, again, blend the liner and that color together. And I know I said I was going to do one eye and then the other, but when it comes to lid and like liner, I don't want to like mess this up right now. So I'm not going to go back and forth quite yet. I'm going to pat some with Chad because I feel like, is my liner there coming off? Okay, I got some of the Kia shade, so I'm just going to use my liner to cover up that shade so it's nice and matte black. Okay. Now we're going to finish up the lid a little bit more in a minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take that, I repeated it on this side. I'm not totally happy with the wings, but we're going to go with it. It doesn't look as good as Linda Halberg's, but I'm not her. It's going to look different. So I'm going to take the Royal & Langnickel Omnia Balm 18 shader brush. I'm going to go into the shade Wadabi on here, which is this like greeny gold shade. I'm going to take Wadabi. Oh, it's so pretty. Even on the brush. I'm going to put it on the inner corner. Now my eyes are super dry and like wrinkling everywhere. So I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. And if there's a little bit of like a harsh line where the two colors meet up, it's actually blending together pretty well, but we'll fix that in just a minute. So I think that looks gorgeous. Sorry, I'm like really happy about this color. I love using Wadabi. I'm just gonna repeat that on the other eye. Just go in with the flat shader brush. Again, I am patting, as you can see, and like kind of, not really, I'm not swiping, I'm pulling, patting and pulling a little bit gently to blend and get this color where I want it without disrupting what we did underneath. Now people are going to be like, why? Just a second, when I do more crease work because we will come back into the shade. Okay. So now, again, you do not need every palette to do this, but I'm going to go into the Too Faced Totally Cute palette. I'm going to go into Clover, which is this bright green shade here. And I'm going to use that to blend these two colors together and bring a little bit of green into it because, you know, it's March, St. Patrick's Day and all that garbage. Don't care about it. It's just an excuse for people to get, like, crazy drunk. But hey, I'm 21 now. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I won't. Partying's not my scene. Let's see. So I'm just going to use this to blend the two colors together and kind of marry the two so they don't, there's not such a harsh line. And then I'm going to go back into Wadabi, the greeny gold, pure gold shade from the Juvias Place palette. I'm going to just kind of use that to blend the edge of Clover. And then take Kia and also use that to blend so that's not such a harsh green line. So, I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't look exactly perfect, but I'm a human. I'm not exactly perfect anyway. So next, I'm going to take a Morphe M441. Any stiff blender will do. And I'm going to go into Chad, again, the black shade, in case you don't know. And I'm going to use that to blend out this edge over here, where the liner and our duochrome shade meet. So I'm just going to take it on the very tip of the brush, tap off the excess because this is a pigmented shade. Use that just to blend that out. Now I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild crease brush and go into Katsina. Got a little bit of chat on there, which is the khaki shade from the Juvias Place palette. Use that to blend all that out. Alright, I'm liking how that looks. Now we're going to do some lash line work. I'm going to take, there it is, Katsina, which is the khaki shade we just used, and mix it with a little bit of the taupe shade from the Studio Makeup on the Go palette, and just use this close to my lash line on this e.l.f. concealer brush or contour brush. I think it's the e.l.f. contour brush. I don't know if they still sell this. And don't worry about fallout underneath. We'll take care of that in just a minute. Next, I'm going to take, we're using a lot of the same brushes, guys. Make sure you have a washcloth or a color switch to do this. Also, my Kat Von D liner ran out, so that's why I had to use a different liner for that side. I'm not going to clean up the inner eye, even though it has a lot of stuff there. Not that color. We're going to go in with Kia, again, the duochrome shade. Any duochrome you have. I'm going to take it just on the very tip of this brush. I'm going to use that to kind of put on the lower lash line just to the middle. Basically, mirror what we did on the top on our lower lash line. I'm going to take Wadabi and just put that also into the inner corner and kind of right there. Perfect. Next, we're going to work on the inner corner and highlighting. So I am going to take, I'm deciding. I did not plan on this. I'm going to take Unicorn from the Totally Cute palette. Any color will do. This has a little bit of like a pink reflect to it. So if you have a white with a pink reflect, use that. Otherwise, use anything else you have. It does not matter. I'm going to pop this on the inner corner to bring some light to my face. And then I'm also going to put it on my brow bone right here where we were carving our brows earlier. There shouldn't be any product here, like any eyeshadow to interfere because we blended using a matte color close to our skin tone. Alright, so now I'm going to apply some mascara and I will be right back in just a minute. I forgot to mention how to clean up your under eyes. I just saw that. I'm taking a big, this is a stipple brush, any big fluffy brush will do, and just very gently, don't push down too hard, swipe it away. And again, you can go in and back and forth, in and out, but just make sure you are swiping it away. Ooh. I keep like swiping my eye with it, so it should clean up that under eye so it's not as dirty and gross looking. If it's not, again, we did not do foundation yet, so you can just clean it up with a wet wipe, but I'm going to finish the rest of my face. So this is the completed eye look, and I will show you what it looks like with mascara in just a minute. I will catch you in a moment. So this is the completed look, guys. I'm really happy with how it turned out, especially with all the rest of the makeup on. I love it. So you don't need lashes for this look, and also, as you can see, I'm not wearing foundation. You don't need to wear foundation with a lot of things, but you know, every day to day I don't wear foundation. Anyway, whew, I'm very excited with how this turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to be uploading about twice a week now, so keep an eye out on my Instagram. It is Makeup by Jana. Check out there. I'll be announcing videos there and getting polls about like what videos I should do next. I'm about to pre-record a couple other things. So I hope you guys come back and join me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!